elements of body language and how to use elements of body language for your benefit so that you become a more confident person, you become, make better impression. So it's all going to be about body language today. Okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, ma'am.
So what we need to understand is communication is not just about verbal, communication. It's not just words. It's not just what you talk. It's also, about how you're overall acting. So basically, if you see, your body is constantly giving out, messages, signals, cues that talk more about, that tell more about what you're thinking, about you in general. So you're constantly communicating through your body. Okay, so this is what we mean by body language, and this is what we're going to be talking about today. Okay.
Okay, so before we start, everyone who has joined, just do follow Alpha Board and Board Today. We have new followers now.
All right, all
Okay.
right. Please make sure. Okay, before we actually start, I'm giving everyone a 10 seconds window. Go back, follow up what you've come for the first time, and please drop in your, a thumbs up or some comment mentioning that you have followed Alphabet so that we can quickly start. Okay, 10 seconds. I think we
Okay.
should give them a timer, Kashish. Can we start a timer? I think 10,
9,
9, 8,
8,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5, 4,
4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1,
I think
0.
you must have done this. Very good, Aditi. Very good, Dr. Revsi. Cool. That's really cool. Um, what about the rest? Did you guys not do that? Or have you already followed our board? If you already have, great work. If you've not, go back now and come back quickly to the session. Okay? So I think we can get started. So
Yeah.
cool then. Like we mentioned, we are talking about body language, and that we'll talk about how we can use elements of body language for our own benefit, and how we can understand what positive aspects are, what negative aspects are of body language. Okay?
Okay, so let me
All
ask
right.
you my first question then.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big one, okay? I have it written here. So,
Okay.
there is this thing that sometimes we do listen to what YouTube has to offer, and certain experts have to claim that certain gestures or your actions they indicate more about your personality. So, you can actually understand a person's personality by his or body language. So, how true is that?
So you can definitely understand some aspects of a person through body language. But again, it's super subjective. When I say it's subjective, let me clarify this question. So for everyone who's not understood, what Kashish is trying to ask is, YouTube पे या फिर कहीं पे भी on a lot of different platforms बहुत सारे experts बोलते हैं body language experts कि आप किसी को भी 2 मिनट में पढ़ पाओगे through their body language. आप किसी के भी पर्सनैलिटी को, ट्रू नेचर को, ट्रू कैरेक्टर को बॉडी लैंग्वेज के थ्रू समझ पाओगे, जान पाओगे. सो इज दैट ट्रू? सो टेक्निकली आई वुड से दैट्स नॉट एक्चुअली ट्रू. Okay. Like I told you, body language is a language. It is going to be constantly changing. In every situation, it is going to be different. So, for example, now if I have a particular body language, that does not mean after the life when I go back to my work, it's going to be the same. It's going to be different in different situations in front of different people. So it really does not specifically, give insights into a person's true nature. No, it does give an insight on how the person is feeling, or what are the basic thought processes that are happening in that person now. तो ऐसा
Okay.
नहीं है कि अगर एक शख्स ये चीज करता है तो इसका मतलब वो वैसे ही है, या फिर देर आर वेरी सेवरल क्यूज भी कि अगर कोई बात करते वक्त टचिंग हिज फेस अ लॉट, दैट मींस दे आर लाइंग. So there
Yeah.
are certain people who have this habit of touching their face a lot, or there are these people who have this habit of doing this a lot. But that does not mean that they're lying, or it is indicating something. It can be just one of the habits. So do not take body language too seriously. Do not judge anybody, very seriously on the basis of body language. Use body language to look more confident. to appear more positive rather than actually just judging people on the basis of, okay, this is what this person is doing, iska matlab ye hoga. Okay, I am a psychologist. We ourselves do not consider body language as a major indicator of thought processes and personality, so I would recommend everybody not to do that.
Okay, so if it isn't that important, why do we need to know more about it?
So let me tell you, Kashish. Have you ever been to an interview, like a personal interview, and you go to, the office and you start looking around?
Yeah.
Okay, or let's just say you've been to college for the first day. This is your first day at college, and what do? मतलब जनरली नॉर्मल लोग जो है वो जाते ही सबके सब हाय हेलो नहीं करते, वो जाके बैठते हैं साइड में एंड दे लुक अराउंड and they try to understand, okay, who can I talk to, who is more approachable, who will possibly be my friend. तो ये सब आप जो judgment करते हैं, all this judgment, how do you actually do it? You judge the people on the basis of their body language. So, right? Similarly, so you watch professors walking and you see, arey, this professor seems really, strict. This professor looks friendly. She's talking to everyone with a smile. This person looks, very excited. Probably this must be a mischievous person. Or this person looks really, negative, is having negative, facial expressions. So probably this person is going to be arrogant. So you're constantly judging people on this. So similarly, just how you are trying to understand people, other people are also trying to make, something out of your personality. They're trying to judge you constantly. And you have to create positive, I would say good impressions. Good impressions can be very subjective. What do I mean by good impressions? And I say you have to use your body language to look more confident, look more positive and approachable. So this is why, specifically, this is why you should be, knowing or understanding body language. Or even if you don't know what is good, let's understand what are the negative aspects of body language that can make you look unpleasant overall. Okay?
If you have to sum up, like just 1 or 2 points, so what exactly are we going to understand today about body language?
So in short, today we're going to understand what is positive and what is negative body language. We are just going to dissect the whole body language segment into small elements. Okay, and then understand that, okay, with respect to this element of body language, this is what should be done, this is what should be avoided. So this is what we will talk about, elements of body language and then their positive and negative aspects.
Okay, so everyone, we are now getting into the main part of the segment. So if you have any questions, feel free to put it in the comment section. Now, Mansi, what all comes under body language?
What all comes under body language? This is, how do I tell you? Anything. Like I told you, everything that comes under non-verbal communication. Your overall, movement, your facial expressions, your tone, your posture, everything that you're doing apart from talking with your face, with your body, that is body language. Okay, so you can say it's a vast umbrella, and under that we'll be having small elements.
Okay, so let's go ahead then. So, what is the most expressive part of us in this body language part?
So I think let's try to understand. Okay, what are we going to talk about? Okay, so now, like I told you, we are going to talk about body language elements, right? So let's name a few first. So I think what you mentioned is what is the most expressive part of ourselves is our face, right?
Yeah.
So that is like the most prominent part when it comes to body language. Okay, so under our face, okay, so first most important element of body language is our face, and under that also we have a very, very expressive element in the face also. What do you think is that?
Eyes. Smile.
Absolutely, absolutely. So the most expressive element of our face is the eyes first, okay? So let us understand what could be the positive aspect, what are the positive, how positively we can use this in terms of body language, and what could be negative body language when we are talking about our face. Okay, specifically.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. So, first, when we're talking about our face, let us understand we will be talking about our eyes, we'll be talking about, facial expressions generally, because, of course, you talk not just through words, but also through facial expressions. And then we'll be talking about, other things. So, the very first thing, like I told you, eyes, very, very important. And the most important thing everyone must have told you in communication, you need to have eye contact. You need to make eye contact, right?
Yeah.
This must have been told to you. So again, I would assert on the same thing that yes, eye contact is super, super important in any communication, in body language also, because how you look at someone can make a huge, huge impact. So first thing we need to understand in one-on-one communication, like it is always said, like make eye contact. So, Kashish, how long should you make eye contact?
Just that it keeps the conversation going and doesn't make the person uncomfortable.
Exactly, exactly. Like when I say like make eye contact, if I constantly stare, yes, Kashi, how do you feel? Are you okay today? What are you doing today, Kashi?
I'll start looking here and there.
It's gonna make people feel super uncomfortable. Imagine you're in an interview, and I think I've told this before as well. Okay, guys, if you're in an interview and you are trying to, have an interaction, of course you're going to look at the interviewer while answering questions. This is most important, but do not constantly stare. Okay, so it shouldn't be like, yes, I want this job because I think I'm highly capable and I possess all the skills and qualities that are needed. Yes, I'm paying attention to what you're saying. Yes. So it will become so uncomfortable. Remember, do not make this constant, eye contact. It will make the other person uncomfortable. So what are you supposed to do exactly when I say, maintain an eye contact? Break it. 10 seconds, not more than 10 seconds. But again, when I say 10 seconds, can you actually count like that, Kashish? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Can we do that? It's practically very difficult. It's impossible because you'll be like super distracted if you're trying to have a conversation and then. So what do you do is you understand that you're supposed to take at equal, like proper intervals, break eye contact. When I say break eye contact, what are you going to do? Can you like look completely 180 degrees away? Okay, I think Kashish, we've lost Kashish, but that's okay. She'll probably come back. So, coming back to what I was saying, can we actually look like 180 degrees while we're breaking eye contact? Can we like do this? Or, like, hey, I'm talking to you, and then constantly like look somewhere really out of frame or out of context and then come back, right? So, when you're breaking eye contact also make sure that it is like to immediate areas. So for example, if you're breaking eye contact, so look at your own hands, look at the table if you're seated, and especially if it is an interview, so look down. Then what you could also do is like you can look nowhere. Have you heard of looking nowhere? Looking nowhere means you're not actually like looking at something specific, but you're just like trying to focus on things. So when you're talking, you can be just like, yeah. So this is one good way of breaking eye contact. Eye contact, if used well, can be really, really, impactful. It can create a very good impression. But at the same time, if you constantly, like, the way you stare also. Now, eye contact, the expression also has to be positive. If you stare like this, again, this made you uncomfortable, right? This making the other person feel that probably you're not very happy, or probably you're not very excited. So this is also like not cool. Make sure that you have a neutral expression on face while you're interacting and maintaining eye contact. So I think we're clear about eye contact. Now, like I mentioned, I spoke about facial expressions, right? That your facial expressions need to be neutral, they need to be normal. So, what exactly do I mean by normal? Okay, so coming back to facial expressions, wait, let me just, yeah, waiting for our host to join again. Okay, till then. So, remember, what are we trying to do through body language? Through body language, we're trying to communicate some message. And when I say use your body language elements for your benefit, we are trying to communicate our message more effectively. Okay, so when I say use it effectively, there is a message that you're trying to give. Body language, if used well with verbal communication, can be a very good tool. So try to understand what is the message that you're trying to communicate to the other person or to the people around you. So let's say if you want to showcase happiness, it has to be seen in your facial expression. If you want to showcase sadness, it has to be seen on your face. If you want to showcase confidence, it has to be like, seen on your face. And how do you do that? I think it's very, very easy. Be expressive. But at the same time, if there are negative emotions that you're experiencing, and you do not want to, because you want to look confident, uh, because you want to look confident, because you want to look more positive, if those negative emotions are seen on your face, that also is not good. Okay, welcome back.
Sorry, I got logged out. I don't know how.
That's cool. That's cool. No problem. Also,
Echo problem again?
yes,
Oh God.
yes.
I'll use my earphones then.
Plug in your earphones and plug them out. Let me check. No, plug out your earphones.
Okay.
I guess. This is magic. I think the viewers also must be seeing how it is like. It's really strange. It's super strange. Okay, till then let me just address our comments. Pradeep Hiwari says, "Hi ma'am, I want to learn." Pradeep, if you want to work on your English, if you want to work on any communication related aspect, please drop in your phone number and your email address, and our team will get back to you. Also, let us know if you want to specifically learn something. We will make sure that before contacting you, we are prepared with a test that will help you specifically with that area. Okay. If there's anyone else also who wants to learn English, you can definitely drop us a DM. We'll get back to you super soon. All right.
All right.
Okay, so Kashish, right before you joined in, we were talking about how facial expressions are also equally important. And while we're talking about facial expressions, how to use them positively in terms of body language. Okay?
Okay.
So when I said there are times when we are experiencing negative emotions. So that should not be reflected on our face. So let's just say if you're nervous in an interview, that should not be reflecting on your face because you want to look confident, you want to look optimistic. At the same time, sometimes if you're going to be addressing a lot of people in public, if you're going to meet a lot of people, and if you're sad or if you're angry, that should not be seen on your face. So maintain a neutral expression. When I say maintain a neutral expression, you don't have to pretend to be super happy, but at the same time, make sure that your messages, your messages and your body language, your facial expressions are matching. So if you're angry and someone is happy, and if you're going to say congratulations, it has to be like happily, like hey, congratulations. It doesn't have to be like congratulations.
Okay. That will be super disappointing.
That's really disappointing. At the same time, nobody will like it. So make sure that your facial expressions are neutral, positive. And while we're talking about facial expressions, what is most important to look optimistic and positive is your smile.
Smile.
Okay? Just
Okay.
smile with your Okay, that's very cute. So everyone has their positive smile, confident smile. Make sure that you have that when you are interacting with new people, when you're interacting with people on the, Zoom also, in meetings as well, Google Meets. That's a good way to start any conversation. That's a good way to build any relationship. That'll make you confident. Even if you're talking very normally, if you're talking neutrally with confidence, when you're smiling, that creates a better impact. But the smile has to be natural. Okay, if I say that okay, I have to smile at people and I smile like this. Okay,
Who's
nobody wants a fake
Zabardast
smile. People can understand that it's fake, right? We do this with relatives, like hi auntie. So
Namaste.
namaste. So avoid that completely. Make sure that your eye contact, your facial expressions, and your smile actually, match the occasion, match the message. Okay, so silent Nitin Pandal. Okay, slow please. Nitin, was I not able to were you not able to understand? I'll try to slow down the explanation. Okay, I'll try to be slower now. अभी हमने face की बात की body language में. Now let's talk about posture. Now when we say body language, of course, the most important thing is the overall posture. Also, how you posture is your stance, your pose. If I have to speak, okay. So, one second. Gautam, if you have a question, you can just drop in a question. I will be more than happy to answer it, okay? So, coming back to your posture, when I say you need to have a positive body language through your posture, let's talk about standing first, okay? All right. So, how do you see a not so confident person or not so very positive person standing? What is your idea of a not confident person or low confident or low self-esteem person standing? What do you think, Kashish? This is a question for you.
So it actually depends on the person, but they are like too alert of their surroundings. So either they'll be too stiff or they'll be something like, okay, just standing there, and if you push them and they'll be like, oh, what happened?
Okay. So that is one way. So to understand, okay, if someone is low confident, if they're very, very conscious about their surrounding, they're going to be very stiff. At the same time, if someone is low confident, their shoulders are going to be drooped down and their body is going to be closed. Always remember, if you want to look more confident, you need to have open postures. When I say open postures, stand straight, shoulders straight, neck straight, back straight. Okay, when I'm sorry, I'm not able to show you properly. Wait. Okay, so when you stand, you stand properly. When you are low confident or you're not very comfortable with your own self, you're going to be very very closed. Actually, now this is something I've noticed, and you also must have noticed. People who are very tall, okay, they're not very comfortable because they think they look different.
Yeah.
A lot of my ex-students who have, who are tall, we used to have these, body language sessions where everyone would walk. Okay, we would see how everyone is walking and what are the changes that are needed to be made. And I've noticed a lot of tall people, they bend down and they, fold their shoulders inwards. They think that they look shorter, or I don't know. They get really conscious about their height. So that makes them look again low confident. Always make sure your shoulders have to be out. Your overall body needs to be open. Okay. So when you're standing, neck straight, back straight, hands straight, not very stiff, but at the same not really laid back. Energy low, where you are standing on. Also, one thing, stand on both your feet. Okay. So when I say stand on both your feet means ऐसे नहीं खड़े रहना like one knee, you're bending on one knee, you're bending on one knee. Don't do that. If you're going to talk in front of people, if you're going to be addressing people, always stand on both your feet, leave some space. This is one way of looking more confident when you're standing. What do you do with your hands when you're standing? Let's just say if you're standing in front of people, what will you do with your hands?
I'll hold both of my hands like this. Okay, this is the only position.
Okay, so one thing, let's talk about what not to do with your hands when you're standing. Do not place your hands in your pocket. Okay, because again your hands are going to be folded, your body is going to look inward, it is going to look like it's a closed body posture. Secondly, because you are, your hands in your pocket, it shows that you're laid back. आप कोई activity के लिए ready नहीं हो, आप action के लिए ready नहीं हो, you're laid back. You're just there to watch. So again, that's not a quality of the proactive person. Avoid hands in the pocket. Avoid touching your face. Avoid, doing this a lot. Avoid doing this. Avoid like standing like this also. Okay, so holding your hands also is like a defensive position. Your hand at the back also, it's like you're hiding something. So what you can do is, like Kashish said, okay, something like this. Constantly keep moving. If you have only one posture throughout, you look very stiff. So avoid that. Okay.
Okay.
So this was about standing. Neck not too high, not too low. Again, if generally while talking you stand like this, it shows that you are probably a little too confident, overconfident. If your neck is like constantly down, again low confidence. So 90-degree perpendicular. Okay, mat to the mat. Secondly, when we're seated, again, a lot of people need to understand this while you're working also. I know you are going to be working for 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, and be sitting on in the same place. But if you know that you are in a place where people are going to watch you, like if it's a meeting or if it's some seminar where people are going to watch you, make sure you're seated properly. If you're in an interview, be it virtual interview, now no one's going to watch you, does not mean you sit with your legs folded. Okay, so because that also like is seen on your in your upper body, like we can see it that you're very comfortable. So when you're seated also, make sure that your shoulders are straight, your back is straight, your neck is straight, hands open as an open body posture. When you're seated on a chair outside, do not lay back. Back yes.
Right.
Again, that's not right. Leaning too forward also. Not nice. Is it nice? Kashish, do you feel comfortable when I'm talking to you like this?
Not at all.
Hannah? So, again, do not lean too forward. A lot of times, because we are working, especially virtually when we are working, our cameras are in front of us. So, a lot of times I've seen that people are working, they do not focus on how they are looking on the screen. So, they'll sit like this.
Yeah,
and then they walk like this.
Lay down sometimes. Happens.
Okay. First of all, don't lie down. Don't lie down when you're on, on meets. First of all, that's super unprofessional. That's not at all, appreciated. That's not at all appreciated. Do not do that. That's a big no. No. Okay. It's an official meeting. It's not a friendly phone call. It's not a friendly WhatsApp call, video call that you're doing. Okay. So if you are going to have a video call, make sure that you are not you're seated in the right position plus in the right place. Coming back to your body language, when we were talking about seating again, not leaning too forward, not leaning too back. What do you do with your hands when you're seated? Hands on your lap. I think that's fine. Okay, especially in an interview, hands on your lap. Don't fidget too much. When we talk about walking, okay. Kashish, what do you think is the most annoying way in which anyone can walk? Now there are annoying ways, okay? Your body language, you can identify annoying people through their body language. Even if you can't understand their true nature, you can definitely understand annoying people. Okay, you can definitely recognize annoying people. And walks are one way of picking out annoying people. Jokes apart, what is like the most unpleasant way or most unimpressive way of walking, according to you?
When people walk like they're dragging their feet, not like walking, but dragging their feet, like that shoe noise that's most annoying.
Okay, so like everyone must have heard when someone is dragging their feet while walking, that is absolutely like the worst way anyone can walk. Do not drag your feet. It looks absolutely unimpressive. It looks bad, of course. At the same time, it makes the other person look that you are like lazy. Okay, why is it bad because when you're walking, you're actually dragging your feet. It is going to make this super annoying voice, that sound. It's going to make that really voice. That sound
Yeah.
is not nice. Plus, it's hampering your shoes. Shoes are expensive. Okay? So don't do that. When you walk, always make sure that you're lifting your feet. When I say lifting your feet, both the feet have to be lifted, right? Do not drag your feet. Then, secondly, what I would say is when you're walking, your hands also have to move, right? But that does not mean that you move your hands a lot. That does not mean that you keep your hands too stiff. They have to be normal. Okay. So when you're walking, and specifically why am I mentioning walking here? There are times when you are, going for an interview, you're going to a new place, and you don't want people to notice you. In that case, a lot of people have very close body language, and they walk in ways that nobody should watch them. So in that time, people will actually watch you if you walk like that. So be confident, be normal, walk like you generally do, but not like you're walking for how
Lazily.
you walk, yeah, in the garden, in the park. Normally, confidently, that's absolutely okay. All right.
All right.
So that was about your posture. One very important aspect of your posture is your hand movement, right? Because hands also are a very important, crucial part of the whole thing. So when I say hand movements, of course, when you're talking, if constantly throughout this session also, if I do not move my hands at all, if throughout the session I just talk to you like this, it is going to be I don't know, monotonous after some time, and you will lose interest to listen to me because it will look really monotonous. So use your hands, right? Use your hands to convey the message right. Okay. So when I say convey the message right, also we have to understand again, like I told you, you are using body language as an effective tool to convey whatever you're saying, to express yourself better with the verbal message. So when I say that I am, keen on talking to someone, so my hands will also like move forward. I'm going to lean forward when I'm going to talk to someone. Let's just say if I'm explaining something, okay? So if I'm addressing someone, so I'm going to use my hands like this. Also, yeah, one very important thing about addressing people, make sure that when you're addressing people, you use your palm. Do
Yeah,
not
not
point
finger.
fingers on your audience. Do not point fingers towards your audience. Understood? Do not do this.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
but I have one thing to ask, Mansi. I read it somewhere that when you're using your hands too much while talking, it takes most of the attention from what you're speaking to how you're moving your hands. Is it true?
That is absolutely true. Because imagine again, like I told you, if I was stiff, it would get boring. If I constantly move my hands and and that too beyond the frame, so it is going to
Yeah.
distract you. Like even now when I'm talking, if I do actions which are not like needed in this conversation, it is actually going to like distract you because it is
Yeah.
too much. Use your hand movements, like I told you, if body language used in the right manner can be an effective tool. So use it right, use it properly. So if I constantly do unnecessary actions like this, it is going to be distracting. So it will actually distract people. People will not remember what you are talking. Okay. So when I say use them right, what do? So one thing is when you're addressing people, you can do this. This is one effective hand movement. When you are like I told you, address people. Do not point fingers. Do not point fingers. Uh, there are other ways also. Like people address. Sometimes people use the palm like this downwards.
Yeah,
So
downwards.
to address people. Again, that is also wrong. That's not cool. And fingers, I have mentioned, do not point fingers. Always the palms to heaven. So like your upwards and then address. Okay, this is one thing. Also, for example, if you're talking about giving something, so use both your hands. And remember, when you're making hand movements, also they should not be very stiff and close to your body. There is a difference. Now, when I'm talking to you, also, I've kept my hands close to my body, which is making it look uncomfortable. You're looking like a T-Rex. You know what is a T-Rex? Tyrannosaurus.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
You look
yeah.
like a T-Rex because your hands are not moving and you just like whatever you're doing, it's very limited, it's restricted. Open, have an open body language where you're using your hands openly. If you're going to like address someone also, you're actually moving it towards this. Imagine there is a 2x2 box in front of you. Okay? Imagine there is a 2x2 box in front of you, and whatever gestures that you make, whatever actions that you make, they have to be outside this box.
Okay.
Okay?
Some distance.
Also, let's just say if you're making a statement, so something like this, the chop. I won this dungeon, right?
Someone's laughing.
And that's cool. Was it funny? Nice. Uh, I'm glad you find it amusing. So something like like a chop. This also creates a very, very good impression if you're going to, state something really important. That will, with the right action, with the right message, the message can be conveyed nicely. So let's just say if I want to say the stocks are rising, okay? If you invest in the company, your profit will rise. The profit will increase. So can I say, now again, I'm trying to match this message with body language. If I say, if you invest with a company, the profits will increase.
How is this increased?
The profits will increase. Does it work? Again. So the body language has to match the message. The profit will increase.
Yeah,
Right?
this is nice.
This is what you have to understand. If you invest with a company, the losses will decrease. Again, the losses will decrease. Use the right gestures with the right message. Clear about this? Okay. One very important thing when you are talking, identify what are the gestures. Now, what are gestures exactly? Anything that you do with your hands, any signaling, any sign giving through your hands. So there are a couple of gestures which are not cool at all to be used in front of a formal audience or generally also. You don't know who would be comfortable with what. Okay, so it is always better to avoid certain gestures completely. Some, like for example, something like this, if it is acceptable in our country, in Western countries, there are countries where showing the thumb is not considered appropriate. I'm not sure which country, I cannot recall it right now, but certain gestures will not work everywhere. And you also identify what are the some gestures which are not cool at all. So snapping is not cool. Pointing out at people, not cool. Anything else? Showing fingers, not cool. So identify what are these gestures that you do generally, which are not acceptable or which are not very appropriate, and avoid them completely. If you're not sure if it is appropriate or not, then just don't do it. If something is making you think that okay, is this acceptable, don't do it at all. Okay, now moving to a very, very important aspect when it comes to hand moves related to hands, that is handshakes. Okay, handshakes, super important. So Kashish, why do you think we shake hands?
Just as a greeting.
It's a part of greeting, right? So, formally, handshakes are considered as a formal way of greeting anybody. At least in our country. In all the countries, there are different ways you greet people. In some Western countries, hugging the person can be greeting. In some Eastern countries, they do not want any physical contact. Just bowing down in front of other people is considered as the respectful form of greeting. So everyone has their own ways of greeting. Handshakes are considered to be formal, business, etiquette. So make sure that if you're going to meet someone now, not in the Corona phase, okay, not in the COVID phase, but beyond that, after that, if you are going to interact with people, handshakes are a very, very good way to create a good impression. So if you're going to shake hands, make sure you shake hands confidently. make sure your handshake is not a limpy handshake. Limpy handshake means जहाँ पे आप अपना हाथ दे देते हैं कि okay now hold my hand and you're it's not very confident. You let the other person take charge of the handshake. Do not do that. Okay, your handshake has to be confident. You need to make sure that. Plus, when I say confident, do not hold hands for a very long time. Leave. Okay.
Leave.
1, 2, 3, leave. 1, 2, 3, leave. Okay, do not hold hands and continue talking. Now that might be a general way of greeting people, but other people might not be comfortable with it. And because it's a formal greeting, you don't really have to hold hands. Okay, if it's a dignitary, important person, you can hold hands using, you can shake hands using both hands. Okay, that is also acceptable. So handshakes, confident, firm. If you have like clammy hands, when you're nervous, especially during interviews, if you're in the AC and your hands are sweaty. What are you gonna do? Yeah, don't go for the handshake. Just bow down. If you can quickly, slide your hand in your pocket, take off that handkerchief and then wipe it off, and then shake hands, it'll be cool. But do not do that in front of people. Ki maine handkerchief nikala, I'll wipe my hand, and then I'm going to shake hands. It's going to make the other person uncomfortable. Okay? So again, very slightly, where no one's noticing, wipe your hands quickly and then shake hands. Nobody would like a clammy handshake, so avoid that. If you think you can't do the slyly wiping your hand thingy, just avoid the handshake completely. Greet the person positively with a smile. So I think, yeah, we are clear with the handshake part. Okay, are we clear?
Yes. You are thumbs up also.
We've got a thumbs up also. Okay. So I think we've pretty much in part 1 today, we're not just going to be, there are a lot of body language elements, and these were just a couple of them. So in the upcoming session, we'll talk about more body language elements. Plus, we'll be talking about the message in connection to all these elements. And we'll see what is the impact of positive body language and negative body language in greater depth. All right. So I think I've pretty much, clarified about a couple of elements, and everyone has understood that. So yeah, I think Kashish, you can take over.
Okay. So thank you for joining us today. And as Mansi already told you and gave you insights about what we are going to have in the next session. So if you like today's session, please stay tuned for part 2 of this, because there is more things left. It's not ended here. To know more about it, please join the next session. And if you like this one, please do not forget to like and put it in the comment section.
All right.
That's it.
Absolutely. If anyone has a question, we can actually address that. Till then, like I said, I thank everyone for joining in. If you have come to Alpha Board for the first time, go back, follow Alpha Board. We'll be coming every week, not just once, not just twice, but 4 times to meet you with 4 times, Kashish, 4 times. So to bring more interesting content for you, which is not just fun, which is not just interesting, but also learning wise, very, very beneficial. And you can also let us know what you want to study. You can drop us a DM, or you can just drop in a comment under these posts. If you have missed most of the session, you can actually go back and look at or view the IGTV also. Please let us know what you think about these sessions. Also, most importantly, to do all this, you will have to follow Alpha Board. Okay, so go back, follow Alpha Board. All right, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much, Kashish, for being there and your insightful questions. It was fun. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you, Mansi. Bye everyone. Take care.
Bye bye. Good evening.